What is up, Shanti Tig? Bitch, you guessed it. I guess I'm sticking with the point for a while. I don't know if I like it, but it's just kind of happening. Can you forgive me? Let's talk about forgiveness for real. Disclaimer, I cuss like a sailor. You don't have to like it, but if you do, fuck yeah. Because I cuss in like a real loving way, all right? It's just my way, okay? But today I wanted to talk about forgiveness and how to forgive for real. Like actually forgive and move on and let go and all the things, okay? Because this is a really, it's such a beautiful concept that it's been challenging for me personally, right? Throughout my history, through the chronology of this particular life. It's been a tricky one, and so in my practice and the emotional health practice that I have, and me working with clients, and then me doing the work with myself, I feel like I've really uncovered a pretty fucking rad step-by-step on how to actually forgive. Because we hear this a lot. Like, how many times have you heard, just forgive, just forgive, just forgive, open your heart and forgive. And that's, okay. I'm not saying not do that. Yes, that's kind of like the goal, right? But how? How do I do that? How do I do that? When like shit's fucking hit the fan with someone or something. How do I forgive that genuinely? Because I'm not just referring to saying you forgive when you, you don't. When you don't. Like when you genuinely don't. Like, oh, we see this a lot in religion and even in spiritual practices too. It's like, forgiveness is the key, blah, 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 blah. And so people are just like, kind of like regurgitating this like forgiveness piece, like I forgive you, da 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 da. But are they really? And the answer is no. You're pretending most of the time. Sorry, you don't have to like what I'm saying or agree with it, but chances are it's probably striking a chord either way. Either you like it or you don't. So forgiveness and how to genuinely fucking do that, it requires some stuff. It's a lot. Now, if you're someone, and who am I to say that this can't exist? But if you're someone who is genuinely living a fucking angelic experience and can just like think and say the word forgiveness and poof, you've moved on. I'm sure that happens. But for those of us who it's not that easy, it's not that simple, right? I got the step by step for you, and here's the way that you can kind of figure out if you've really let something go or not. Is shit hitting the fan on repeat? It could be different faces, different places, but like the same kind of shit. All right, that's an indication that you haven't quite actually forgived. Because at the end of the day, all the stuff that kind of goes on is a reflection of your relationship that you have with yourself. How you let yourself be treated by other people, how you let yourself be treated by you, and all of that. So, at the end of the day, the joke's always on us. It's always on you. It's always on me, right? It's always on us at the end of the day. Okay. So, do a little self-assessment and get real. Like, have I actually forgiven this person? Or am I just saying it because I think it's gonna fucking get me into heaven or whatever, right? Or whatever, XYZ, get me dot, 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 okay? So one of the ways I like to genuinely work through this whole like forgiveness process is first we got to come to terms with what the fuck actually went on. And it doesn't mean we have to like rehash every fucking detail, but we got to identify what emotional content that is related to this person, this circumstance is still being held within the system, okay? So then we go there and we express it through systematic emotional expression technique, where, you know, we carve out time and space and you go through the 1, 2, 3s of how to get this emotion out. And it's only through emotional expression that you can get the emotion out. You can't exercise it away. Yoga can't help it. Kriyas can help it. Mantra can help, all of that stuff. But the real stuff, and I know a lot of people are going to disagree with this, and that's okay, is through responsible emotional expression at this point, right? And we want to be cozy with our emotional expression. We don't want to avoid it, because avoiding anything, we won't become proficient if we're avoiding. Yeah? Do you hear this, right? I can't be a speed racer if I never learn how to drive stick, right? A manual drive stick. Okay. Oh my, I'm just like sniffing some oils. All right. So we identify what we're hanging on to, we express it, and it's through that expression then we really start to kind of like let some stuff go. Like literally, you can't really get rid of energy, okay? You transmute it, right? So we're taking stagnant, festering energy, that's the repressed emotion from said experience by said person, right? Or with said person. And then we, through that process of emotional expression, we alchemize it into a higher vibrational frequency and of energy content, like life force energy. And we use that to Frank's about to chime in here, I think. And we use that to then to whatever, right? To create, to live a better life, to live our best life. Okay, so that's kind of like that's step 2. Step 1 is like identifying like what in the actual fuck. Step 2 is expressing what in the actual fuck, and then step 3 is taking accountability for what in the actual fuck. And what I mean by that is I signed up for this life experience, even though I might not remember, and most of us don't because we agreed to amnesia, in order to maximize this lifetime experience and to contribute to our soul's evolution. Okay, all right. Cheers! Cheers! I signed up, accountability. I signed up for this incarnation. I said yes to all the fucking shit along the way in order to learn and grow. That's what I mean by accountability, right? That, yes, I understand that this is highlighting something for me. I might not get it in this life, right? And that's a tricky thing too about the stuff that we might experience in an incarnation, that it's not necessarily like, karma is a big unpack, right? Meaning like, what happened in a past life, you're paying for it in this life, blah, blah, blah. But, because you're a stream of consciousness, a blade of light that's attached to, that's an offshoot of this like wondrous kind of like orb of light. Thank you, Frank. Speaking of orbs, Frank's a big white orb. Lifetimes typically are related, right? So there could be some spillover, from a previous life, but also it's kind of like the lessons learned here. We might not necessarily see the fruits of the seeds we've planted in this life, but they will most definitely, number 1, contribute to soul's evolution, and number 2, be a participant in another lifetime experience. Okay, all right. So that's stage 3, accountability. Like, okay, and it's not like I asked for this to go on, but I can start to see where I signed up for the fucking ride. I bought the fucking ticket, right? And then maybe you can see it's like, oh, well, I ignored all these fucking red flags along the way, so yeah, here we are, okay? And that's such an empowering piece. Okay, it's really, really empowering. All right, so then, Okay. The fourth little piece here is like, okay, now I'm operating from a potential space of, or of organic or genuine neutrality, where I don't have to like pretend to be neutral, because when we pretend to be neutral, we're just repressing something. Okay. When I can like really see the moving parts from all angles. That's what she said. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, I have that higher vantage point now to kind of see what's going on. And then through that, then we have step 5, which looks like I hold a standard, not a boundary. I don't really work with boundaries very much. I mean, I think there's a time and a place, but a boundary oftentimes starts to fester and acts as a repellent to what it is that you actually want. So I like to work with standards, which is just like I hold a standard, and anything that's a matched frequency to the standard that I am committed to is welcome, right? And so with that comes a commitment to yourself of like, okay, is this person really, serving my highest and best? And if not, then I'm fucking committed to this standard. And then you let it go. And that by default, that person is either in your life or they're not in your life. That circumstance is either in your life or not in your life. And it's all a reflection of you and your relationship with you. And that, my friends, is how you forgive for real. Go through these steps. Ask for a guide. Ask me for help. I'm here for you. It's the fucking bitch squad, and I love you all so much. This is a little bit of an extended episode because this is so fucking important. We really need to get into this. I'm going to get into this more, right? Because that was a really simple kind of like walkthrough. But forgiveness is key. It really, really is. But you gotta fucking take the time and do the work to have it be genuine. Yeah? Oh my gosh, please like and subscribe. Become a member of the bitch squad, because fuck yeah, we're here to party. We're here to fucking wake up and live our best lives. Satnam, fuck yes, blessed be. Mwah, mwah.